Hello, today I'm going to show you how to set up OpenVPN server on Tomato router. I have, as you can see, I have already um, installed Tomato on my router, so it's ready to create this server. I'm using server 2, so one is at the moment using at the moment. So yeah, I found this article uh, useful when you're creating the keys for the server. So I'm using this DigitalOcean how to set up an OpenVPN server on Ubuntu 16.04 as a guide. Also, I'm using a um, Linux server to create this certificates. So let's start by installing OpenVPN ECRSA. So you can see it's already installed. Yes. So create a folder called OpenVPN CA. I think I've already done that. Let's navigate into that directory. So configure the certificate authority variables. So that's how you um, changing the variable on your certificate authority. So in here you need to change these values. It's actually um, they explain what value to change. So I'm going to use as it is as this test. Save and exit. Okay, so then build the certificate authority. Get into this folder. Okay, so if you have installed any certificate, if you created any certificate, you can clean them by running the clean all script. Well, it's gonna do the same as this. So I'm gonna run that. Come on, sorry. Um, yeah, then you are ready to create the certificate authority. It will ask the information again. You can skip by pressing enter. Okay. So then we're gonna create server certificate key and encryption files. So I'm gonna call this server. So as I'm calling this a server, I'm gonna leave it as it is. It's gonna ask the same information. So bear in mind if you change any settings, so it has to be the same on the server as well, otherwise it won't work. So it will ask to self-sign the certificate. I say yes, yes. Okay, now it's time to create the Diffie-Hellman key to strengthen up. This might take a while, depending on your server, how you set up the server. Okay, fairly quick. And the TA key, there it is. Now we need to create the client certificate. So as you can see, it's the same location. So SWAS. Build the client key. This information need to be same as the server, otherwise it will not work. Okay, so step 7 is for configuring the OpenVPN services which is on your server if you're creating a Linux server. So this example we're going to use the Tomato router for this as a server, so you don't need this step 7 or 8 or 9. No, we don't need to. So we can start and stop by pressing this button. So okay, so step 10, we need to create the client configuration infrastructure. Need to create this directory call files. Let's make it as executable. Okay, this will copy this client config file into. You can use the. Well, I'm gonna use the dynamic DNS settings on my router at the moment. So I think we can comment out this certificate authority client and client key because we're going to the configuration file has these settings. So well, has this certificate and keys, so we can comment this out on the configuration file. And also we need to add this line, save and exit. This create this script. As you can see, as I already create the script to and save to create the OpenVPN config file, which is going to give you a client, or that's the one you're going to use for accessing the Tomato router. Okay, make as executable. Generating client configurations. Navigate into this directory. So let's run the script with the client name. You can use any name you like. In this case, we need to use the same name as we used before as the client certificate. I think it's out up here somewhere. Yeah. As we created on step 6, we need to be same name as the step 11. Okay. I think that's created a client certificate. So once you navigate, yeah. So we have this OPA. I'm using WinSCP to get the copy the file locally from the server which I created for making these keys. So as you can see in the your user, well, this is called test, user called test. So you create the keys. You can see these files, certificate files, key files inside the OpenVPN-CA directory. So I'm gonna copy these keys into the Tomato router. Static key this will be TA key. Copy and paste. Certificate authority, this will be ca.crt file. If you open with any text editor, you can get this key. Server certificate, which is this. You don't need to copy the whole server certificate. In this case, you can just copy the certificate server key, which is called server key in this case, because we name it server. So TP-Hellman parameter, this is called th2048.pem. I'm gonna copy this file as well to here. Okay, so after you've done that, save the settings. This might gonna take a while, so be patient. If you go to advanced, I will explain this settings, what they do. Push LAN to client. This is the option that you can, if you enable this, you can connect to your local LAN using the VPN. Otherwise, you don't have any connectivity to your LAN. So direct client to redirect internet traffic. If you enable this, then that means you can access internet using the VPN. So you will connect to the router, then you will go to internet from the router, not from the or wherever you're using internet. So compression, encryption, you can change this on the settings as well. I'm gonna leave it on default. Compression, adaptive, I don't know what this is. I tried to use the password authentication, but somehow it's failing. I will do another video if I find these settings. So on the basic, so start with WAN. Every time you start the router, it's your VPN start with it. So that's what, if you enable this start with WAN option. Interface type, TON and tap. TON is it's a tunnel. Tap, sorry, I'm not sure. But what this do is if you use TON, well, so for some reason tap is not working for Android and such devices. So I use TON and protocol UDP. I don't think this matters UDP or TCP because as you're using a tunnel, it will always transfer the settings, packets. Sorry, port. I'm going to use as default 1194. Firewall to set automatic. Authorization mode TLS as we configured on the files. So TLS incoming. VPN, you can change this. Okay, now we have create the client config on the server. Now sorry, there it is. Now we need to transfer this to the client safely. That's how you're going to connect to the VPN. As you can see, I create this desktop connection, no, desktop PC to connect this client. If you download and install OpenVPN on the Android device or Windows machine, you want to connect to the VPN, then it will have this folder called config. So here are some settings I saved earlier, so I'm going to delete this for now. I'm going to copy the configuration I just saved. Okay, it's not like the network connection. So I'm going to copy it locally. Then move into this folder. We open this text editor, save the settings, everything okay. Okay, I found some settings misconfigured on the configuration file. Guess this is the reason it's not connecting. Let's try again. There we go, it's waiting. So at the moment I'm in the same network, that's why it's let's connect to a different network, see if that helps. Obviously the connection going to lose. There you are. Your connection is success.